Coach Norvell mentioned Jason Lopez and punt returns. What makes him kind of a natural at trying to do that?
He is probably as natural and as savvy and as calm a punt catcher and ball catcher as a wide receiver that I've been around in a long time. So I continue to grow confidence in him. Got to continue to put him in game situations, but he's got some savvy and some feel and some confidence that I think go beyond the years of a true freshman. So excited for him. Can continue to work with him and see how that develops, but it certainly has made an impression on me.
We talked to you ahead of the scrimmage last week. We haven't talked to you since. Overall, what was your takeaway and some of the things that you learned about your group?
Just that they're embracing that next kick mentality. I mean, regardless of the result of the last kick, the focus has to be on the next kick, and that's kind of our mantra is, overriding overall is good play, bad play, next play. I mean, how mentally tough can you be? And certainly in the specialist room, it's good kick, next bad kick, next kick, good snap, bad snap, next snap. And I think they embraced that because it wasn't perfect by any stretch. But scrimmage in March, guys still feeling through the new system and pleased with their performance. Certainly feel will be better tomorrow.
Sometimes we've seen in past years, Coach Norvell, where players will gather around a kicker and try to put a little extra pressure on him, maybe blare the music a little bit louder. What kind of things are you doing to ramp up the intensity on maybe Gabe in particular in those moments?
Yeah, similar situation. We end every practice with the game-winning field goal, and I think it does a good job of distracting him and allowing him to focus on what he is trained to do. And is that the realest situation? No, because there's not a circle of people and whistles blowing in your ear, but it does allow him to hone in on, hey, I got to distract my mental piece so my physically trained self can just go execute. And he's done a nice job that last couple practices.
Caleb at long snapping and in general long snappers, how have they done?
They've done well. I mean, Caleb has got a lot of game experience on his belt, but both Naylor and Nako have done a nice job, both in the punt protection scheme, protection coverage, and in the short snapping field goal game as well. So been pleased with the three of them.
Any other questions? Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
So we've heard a lot about the punt returners. Chris obviously asked you. You said something last week about being aggressive and making sure you don't give up some of those yards on the punt return. I guess how do you teach that? Where are you trying to build aggressiveness in how they approach catching those punts in some high volume situations?
Yeah, I think if the ball's in the air and it's a short kick, if you can make a fair catch on that play in traffic, that's a big play. Because if it hits the ground, it's going to create additional net for the opponent, could bounce into one of our guys. The key is, with the way a lot of people punt nowadays, is how do you stop the roll? And I think you got to just trust guys, like judge the pace at which is rolling. What's the risk and what's the reward for going after that ball? If it takes a true hop and you can field it and get down, you might have saved us 15 yards. If it's not traveling that fast, is it that much of a reward to put yourself in harm's way and maybe have it bounce off you? So maybe just let it roll and get our guys away from it. And again, playing great offense on that unit is, regardless of the result of the play, it has to be 1st and 10 Seminoles at the end of the play. So if getting it away and letting it roll, that might be the best decision. So it's putting those guys in practice situations. Some of how we punt has the ball on the ground. Some of what we do with our returners in individual settings has them making those decisions. So it's all about judging the bounce. Can you make a play on it? Can you get down? Can you field it and get going? Or do you just make the smart play, let it roll, and get the offense out there 1st and 10?
Not to pit you against the previous regime, but balls rolling was kind of a common theme with the punt game last year. Are guys, I don't want to say having trouble taking to this new line of thinking? Not new line of thinking, but you get what I'm saying. Are they having trouble adjusting? Are they adjusting well? How are they taking to that teaching?
Well, two of the guys that are getting the majority of the reps at punt returner are new, in Carter and J-Rock, but it's just an understanding of, hey, this happens in today's punt game. Ball on the ground. One, we got to judge it better so we can get it fair caught and stop the roll. Two, we got to make decisions on if it's rolling, how do we best finish that play? Can we stop it, stop the roll, get down? Can we make an aggressive play and take it and run up the sideline? Or do we have to let it roll? And I think they're understanding that because that's the field position game that we preach with these guys all the time.
In the second scrimmage, how much do you do on special teams? What sort of a focus that you have for special teams in that scrimmage?
I think it'll be similar to the first, with the emphasis being kickoff return and punt. We've added our sky punt, so hopefully we get a couple of game reps in that. But, again, it's just the continued development. Like I say it all the time, I love the mid-skill and skill athletes that we have. We've got tall and long corners. We got linebackers that are, yes, sir, coach me, coach type of guys. We got guys across the roster at all positions that are buying in. And when you got wideouts and tight ends and running backs that are actively involved on special teams and contributors, you have a chance to be really good. I think on every team I've been on, you've always had that linebacker crew, those DBs that are involved, but how much can you take off of their plate because you got really good athletic tight ends, you got really fast physical running backs, and you got wideouts that are bought in as well. So I've been really pleased with the roster, with the development, and with the buy-in to this point.
We talked a lot about punt return, but kick return in general. I mean, the line of thinking, how do you either change it, shape it? I think there's the same idea of like you can still create great offense, but you got to be smart when to come out, when to stay in. How have you guys done with that?
Yeah, I think coming out of the end zone or staying in will be dependent on how we feel about our unit. We're always going to be smart on that unit as well. If they got a kicker who gets it 4-1, 4-2 hang time and the entire coverage unit is inside the 30, maybe our best opportunity to play great offense is by either fair catching or staying in. But to that point, between Sam Singleton and Danzy, I feel really good about our returners. And there's more guys past those two, but Singleton's got elite vision and change of direction, and Danzy's got world-class speed. And as I mentioned, I think the guys that we have in front blocking for them are bought in, are tough, are physical, and can make that a real weapon for us. Again, we talked last week, how many opportunities do you get with the quality of the kickers that you get? But all you need is one to make a game-changing play on that unit. And we'll continue to invest time in that because we think it could be a weapon for us.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys.